Alright, guys, well, we're back.
Doesn't feel like it's been 20 some odd minutes already, but it has.
That's hard
Especially
to
with that Super Metroid, that Super Missile glitch earlier happening, just giving me a gigantic hemorrhoid, as in a pain in my rear.
If you're keeping track at home, following the videos, we're up to 18% completion so far. One main boss down.
One of four, right?
Yes,
one of four, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now, there's going to be other mini bosses that we're going to fight along the way, simply because they're in the way. Why go up there and fight them on their terms, but I can just stay down there and fight them on mine?
Yeah. Fight smarter, not harder.
Yep. If you pay attention, we did pass this crate door earlier. Now that crate is dead, I can open it. It looks like there's nothing here, but I assure you, other than these stupid parasite frogs, there is something here.
Oh, wow. How would you have normally found those?
So there's an item in the game called the X-ray scope. It works kind of like, if you remember in Metroid Fusion, you used the power bombs and it revealed what every block was in the room. Mm-hmm. The X-ray scope does the same thing, but without a charge system and without blowing things up.
Okay. Also, that was a good wall jump, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
So now for the rest of this part of the run, we're just going to be in Norfair.
Norfair Part 1 is what I would.
We will not be riding another.
We're not going
somewhere else.
The next time we hit an elevator, we'll be at our split.
Okay. Ooh, cutting it close.
The mock ball always cuts it close. I could ride them, but they're slow.
Yeah. Now,
missed my hole.
Was it Zero Mission or Fusion or maybe both, where you could grab ledges?
That was Zero Mission, and that's because they added the power grip bottom. That's actually the first Metroid that had that, was that one.
Okay.
So they did bring it back in Other M.
We don't speak of Other M.
Yeah, I never played it.
It's a lot of people complain about the way the storyline is and the way the character is written, and I can understand that, but honestly, I find the controls to be clunky. That's my biggest issue with it. If you look at how tight the controls are here, and if you see, like, Samus does not slide around, like, let's look at playing Mario. If you're trying to change direction or come to a stop, Mario just slides all over the place. Samus does not slide. If you just come to a running stop naturally without putting it in the direction, she takes an appropriate amount of steps to slow down, particularly after you get the speed booster. But if you go to turn around, she'll turn on a dime. The whole thing we complained about the buttons not responding earlier, that wasn't the game's fault. That's my controller's fault. So don't take that as the controls aren't that tight. Look at the issues you're having. That was my controller, not the game.
The game is sacred.
So now I could shoot out the floor and go along the bottom. That's slow. So I'm just gonna morphball jump up into that little hole and go over.
Now, what were those things?
Those were, so they have a name. I can't remember what it's called, but they're basically
they're called Leg Day.
Yeah.
they're the Norfair equivalent of side hoppers. These are called Garuda. They've also been around since the very first Metroid game.
Oh, good eye.
Now, so later on, the gravity suit protects you from all lava. So I could get that without taking damage, but I'm never going to visit this room again. So I'll just get it now.
Yeah, save time, makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to do the speedrun, you have to be willing to go ahead and take some kind of damage.
Especially with one thing I'm going to be doing, actually pretty soon here. If you're not willing to take damage, you're not going to do it.
Yeah. Now, I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of people older people who have gone ahead and played this game, but if you've never played this game before...
Welcome to the bubble room.
If you've never played this game before, this is not the way you want to start playing this game.
I'm pretty sure that I had this as my wallpaper back in, like, 1997 on my mom's computer.
Well, now you know where it comes from.
Yeah, I do. You're like, Mom, you won't believe this! Oh,
I didn't do that smoothly last night either.
No, you did not.
It all looks pretty smooth to me.
It's only because you don't know what you're looking for. I'm sure there's someone out there who might watch this and be like, that's garbage. And like, no, you're right, it is.
Oh my gosh, that platform had a missile in it?
Yep. And that's why I froze the Nova on the underside of it so I didn't fall into the lava.
Oh my gosh. Dude, the levels of, like, big brain here. Oh my gosh.
Here's the thing. I recommend if someone's going to play this game for like the first few times, don't follow this. Play through on your own, explore the game, go to areas I don't go to, learn the map, because that's going to be your number one asset when you do decide that you want to start like speedrunning it. Learn the map and learn the mechanics. Once you got that, the game is your oyster.
Yeah, because we're not doing anything that's glitchy here in this particular run.
See,
yes, they are techniques, and yes, they are hard to do.
That took me 3 tries last night.
But they're not glitchy. They're not glitchy things.
There's a path that was along the bottom of the room that would have got me here, but it's like a 4-room loop. I'm not wasting my time. I'm just gonna freeze the waiver, use it as a ledge. Ice beam shenanigans. What the? I'm not the only one who saw me go through a ledge, right?
No, I
looked down.
Yeah. No, that was, if you go back and review the video, that was you.
That's never happened before.
Going through a ledge.
Replay.
Yeah.
That was weird.
So you just like fell through that thing?
Yeah.
Huh.
Because he hit it right on.
And this is where I talk about if you're not comfortable doing damage, don't do this run. Because of this trick right here.
Nicely done, though.
Mm-hmm. This is my first big power spike in the game. This is the wave beam. The power of my beams just kind of doubled.
It gives him the ability to say goodbye to enemies.
Kind of. I also can shoot through walls now.
Which is important because there's a lot of those doors where they kind of close down like one of those Mega Man boss doors.
The shutters,
and
yeah.
you can only hit them from one side. Unless you have the wave beam. Because the wave beam goes through walls.
What's that guy doing? He's just like, look at the ceiling.
Well, he was jumping up out of the ground and I froze him and said, don't care.
You're stuck there now. Bye.
Again, looks like an empty room. Not really.
But it never is.
Well, let's we've been talking about Metroid Past. Let's talk about Metroid Future. So, obviously, there's another Metroid Prime coming out. Lord only knows when it's coming out.
Considering they restarted development on it, like, what, beginning of this year?
Yeah. Now, being a Metroid fan, Daniel, what is it that you are wanting?
It's hard to say because it's in the Prime series, which, while definitely has elements that make it very Metroid, it is not the same as any of the 2D Metroids. It has its own elements to it. As much as there are some parts in Prime 1 that were clunky, I'm not going to deny it, but that actually was my favorite of the 3.
I would agree with that.
Because 3 felt a little too linear, and 2 was a little disjointed with the 2 planets thing. Like, I liked the concept, but I don't like to have to go back and forth 3 times to traverse one area.
That works better in a Zelda game, it seems, than it does in a Metroid game.
Agreed.
Because you have that happen. That mechanic is used multiple times in the Zelda game.
I'm curious.
Ocarina of Time, Link to the Past, A Link Between Worlds, all of those use that. And then you have it even kind of in A Link Between Seasons.
Yeah, Seasons and Ages, yeah.
Yeah.
What was your opinion on motion controls in Metroid Prime 3 compared to the controller in 1 and 2?
Here's the thing. I'm terrible at motion controls, but that probably colors my opinion quite a bit.
Yeah. I would much rather
it has its benefits, don't get me wrong. It allows for a lot more precision of control. The problem is the way the motion was detected does not allow for precision, really, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the issue that I had with it, and I think a lot of people. So
those one-way shutters that I was talking about, that was the big one that brought it to mind for him. In my previous runs, I actually did not take this path. This would actually be the point where I would reclimb the red tower to get power bombs, but I found out that I don't have to do that. Time for our first actual mini-boss of the game.
Nice.
Meet Crocomire.
Huh? What's wrong with him? That's all he does?
No, I'm just not letting him do anything else. He will actually charge forward and spit fireballs at you.
If you let him.
If you let him. You don't actually hurt him. The whole point of the fight is to push him backwards.
Oh, so he'll just fall into lava at some point.
Yeah.
And And then that was one instance of the
So this is going to be the most gruesome death that Nintendo themselves made on the Super Nintendo, but I have to actually sit and watch it to progress the fight.
Oh my gosh, his skin melted off.
It's not done yet.
Oh my gosh.
And the reason you have to watch that is because you have to actually follow the bubbles for the fight to end. The reason you don't want him to push you backwards is because, well, that's there.
So what do those bubbles do?
Oh,
that's his
it.
progress in the lava. He's not quite dead yet.
Oh my gosh, is he gonna come back with like a melted skeleton body?
I'm not gonna ruin the surprise.
Oh no! Oh my gosh! He's just a fossil.
Now you see that skull right there? That skull has actually been in several games. That skull has been in Symphony of the Night and is in one of the new Donkey Kong Country games that was made by Retro. I think the first one. It's also been in a couple of other games, but I don't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, Crocodile's skull has made some cameos.
Oh, that was
Not his actual
nice
body,
jump.
just his skull.
Just the skull. Yeah, I don't usually have to do a wall jump there, but part of it is you have to be willing to just kind of like go with the flow when you're doing this kind of run.
So I have never played any of the 3D Metroids, just because I'm much prefer 2D games than 3D games. Mario's I make an exception for, Zelda's, but if you ask me my favorite Zelda games, they're not going to be what a lot of other people would have. Like I love Link. Well, I shouldn't say that. A lot of people enjoy Link to the Past.
That did not work out the right way.
And
so anyone who's just watching that, I was hitting those spikes intentionally, but it didn't work out. Let's see if I can get it to work on the way back.
oh, this is so much fun if it works.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, speed booster, Samus go fast.
So is that because of the speed booster that you have, or just the spikes will just sometimes damage boost you there?
It's any kind of damage if you hit the right way will do that to you. It requires a particular setup, and I only know how to do it with one particular way. So I hate that I have to do this, but I need the energy. Yeah, those 2 reserve tanks I picked up.
There you go.
This
Whoa.
unlike Infusion and Zero Mission, super jumping like that actually sucks energy.
Oh, okay.
So they made it a limited resource, so to speak, in Super Metroid. But again, after I get enough energy tanks, it's not going to matter anymore. This is the intended way to cross the room by developers.
Wow.
That's why that ramp is there.
Okay.
First appearance
cool.
with the grappling beam, actually, in the Metroid series as well.
Makes me think of Pitfall Hair from the old Pitfall games.
That's cool. So yeah, I can see why you're starting, or I can see why you had said that this was the start of a lot of the signature Samus things that we know today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you don't see him in before this.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Like, again, a large part of this is just I've gone through this so many times, I have this all in my head already.
Now you were shooting the door there with your grapple beam, right?
Yes, you can do that.
That's cool.
With the blue doors, at least.
With blue doors.
Anything that can be opened with a regular beam can be opened with a grapple beam. Now, there's a save door down, the save room down on the door that was below where I just was. Eh.
Yeah, we haven't
saving
saved
us
since
for
we started,
lessons.
right?
Fine. You want to be stubborn, Samus? We'll do it the hard way.
Oh, cool.
See, they expect you to grapple across that, but grappling's slow.
Yeah.
And here it's not a bad way, not bad to lose your energy, because anytime you grab your energy tank, everything, as far as your regular things, are already filled up.
Yeah, it doesn't refill your reserve tanks, but it does refill all of your regular energy tanks whenever you get an energy tank.
So is that's the intended way to get out of there?
No.
Oh.
You, with the high jump, you can just jump up there, but I get up faster if I super jump. So, again, all about speed.
Yeah, shaving time here, it's not like, there's a big part to shave time too, but there's these little things you do as well.
And they just add up.
Yeah.
So So how much backtracking is there?
Not so if you're playing normally, there's a lot because you're like, oh, I can go get this thing now if you remember what you've passed. But the way I do the run, not as much.
Not much.
I mean, there's gonna during one section, it's gonna be So spoilers. At one point, we're gonna just completely clean everything out I've missed in Brinstar and Crateria.
Now, there's some place he has to backtrack. Like, when he came in this room originally, he did not have power bombs.
And I'm killing all the things not because I need to, so to speak. If you notice, I've been skipping a lot of enemies, but I need to be able to speed run through here. And every time you try and do a run and you take damage before you hit full speed, it stops.
So you charged into that door. Oh, wow.
And the reason I did that is because all the floating ledges in this room, let's see if Daniel's good today. He is. Are collapsing ledges. Every ledge in that room is a collapsing ledge.
Got it. So you have to get it that way.
You can also come back later when you have the space jump, which made its premiere in Metroid 2. But again, that will be slow because there's no reason for me to come back this way again. Ever.
Right.
Now, just to give everyone a percentage update, we're at 36% now. 36 items have been collected. We're still down only one main boss. We're down one more mini boss that we had to kill. So that was Crocomire.
Is this where our split is?
And this is where our split is.
Wow. Man, just flying through this thing. Well, the game clock that we've been recording for about 42 minutes. The actual timer on the game will be less than that.
Yes.
But yeah, cool. I'm having fun. This is super interesting.
Keep going.
We'll join back in another episode. Thank you guys for watching.